G'day guys, Daryl from Virtual Shot. In this video, I'm going to go through and explain the ballistics system inside of Virtual Shot and show you how you can customize the ballistics to whatever live ammunition you fire. So you'll get the same bullet drop and wind effects when you're practicing with Virtual Shot as you would when you're firing your live ammunition on your real firearms. Right, so first of all, I've got the Virtual Shot app open. Okay, where I want to go is into the armory settings. So second from the bottom, I'll press that armory button now. And then the second option, the change ballistics, is the one that I want to select. So I'm selecting that now. And you'll notice in here you have a whole bunch of presets. So at the moment, I think the standard one it's set on is 223 Remington. You can adjust that, all right, to any of those presets. And they'll probably get you in the ballpark of the ammunition nature that you want to use. But what I recommend you do is switch to the closest one to your rifle. So I'm going to be practicing on my 308 rifle in this session. And what I have here is a box of ammunition. It's actually an empty box. All right, I recommend you always remove live ammunition from your training area when you're using Virtual Shot. So this is an empty box of ammunition, but it's the actual ammunition that I'm using at the moment when I'm hunting. Now on the box, on pretty much every box, you'll actually have the profile of that ammunition written on the box there. So this is what you need to program your custom ballistics inside the Virtual Shot app. So the very first setting is the sight height. Now that won't be on the box. That will depend on your own, how you've got your scope mounted. Okay, I've got my scope mounted a bit lower than that. So my scope, I measured it earlier, is at about 1.2 inches. Okay, so that's the only setting that you'll need to measure yourself. All right, is your sight over bore height. All the other measurements should be on the box of ammunition. Okay, so on this ammunition here, I need to adjust, the first one is the muzzle velocity, and so we've got it in feet per second there. So the ammunition I'm using is not 2650, it's actually 2810 feet per second. So I'll hit done there. Okay, the ballistic coefficient of this round is slightly different, so it is 0.410. So I'll adjust this, 0.410. Okay. The bullet weight in grains is 150, so a little bit lighter than this. So we'll change that to 150. Okay, and bullet diameter is 308, so I'm happy with that. So now, what I need to do now to lock that in is press the update button. So I'm going to press update now, and you'll see now that under presets up above, it's changed it to custom. Okay, so now it recognizes that this is a custom preset, and it's been saved. All right, so now whenever you use scope mode, all right, that is the preset that's going to be applied for this setup inside of Virtual Shot. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to escape out of here, and I'm going to go to the open range. So I'll open the open range up now. I'm pointing the phone in my downrange direction. What I'll do is I'll put the phone on the mount here and slide it in. Okay, so I've got the application set up on my scope mount. Okay, now the one thing that we haven't done is adjust the zero. Okay, so by default, the Virtual Shot is zeroed at about 200 yards. The reason for that is it's a good kind of all-round zero. It means that if you're aiming center of scene mass at 100, you know what I mean, you'll be slightly low and slightly high. It'll be within, like about 5 centimeters, I'd say, of the target, depending on the caliber that you're using. But if you want to get this set up to actually match your actual setup, I'd recommend you do a custom zero for the Virtual Shot app so it matches how your scope is actually zeroed to your rifle. All right, now, if you're using 100 meters, so let's say you're using 100 meter zero, all right, for your rifle, I'll just center the range here again. So if you're using a 100 meter zero, what you would need to do is you would need to zero the system. So I'm going to move the target out to 100 meters, okay? And what I would do then is I would fire, all right, a nice tight group. I'd probably get down in a prone position, a supported prone position, maybe use my bipod, fire a nice tight group, and then I would look at where the mean point of impact of that group is, and then I would adjust that mean point of impact down onto the zeroing point. Okay, so to do that in the app, you actually use the turrets, the virtual turrets, just like you would use your real turrets. Now I stress, do not touch your real turrets because you'll ruin your actual zero in your rifle. You want to use the virtual turrets for this. So imagine I've gone and fired a 5-round group, okay? And I know that I need to move my adjustment down, okay? I would use the elevation turret here. So I just tap on that elevation turret. You've got a windage turret as well, but at this stage, I'm just using the elevation turret, and I want to adjust that grouping down, okay? So this scope is set up to be a minute of angle scope, okay? We don't have mil in here, but each one of these taps here will adjust the scope, essentially one click, all right? And it's a 1/4 MOA per click, okay? So let's say I know that I need to adjust it down, maybe 6 clicks down. What I would do then is I would adjust those 6 clicks, and then I would fire another 5-round group, okay? And see how close I am to the aiming mark, all right? Or to the center of the target, the zeroing point. And then once I'm satisfied with that, I then press that make permanent button above there. So if I tap that one, now what that's done is that's saved that zero, or those adjustments that I've done, those 6 clicks down, as the permanent zero for the virtual scope. And so that setting there would enable me to have whatever zero I have in real life, virtually. I've also customized my ballistics. And what this means now is I should have the same bullet drop and wind effects that I would have virtual inside the app at every distance as I experience live. And so this means that you can practice your holdovers and your aim-offs for different distances and different conditions virtually. So when you're shooting live, those become second nature to you, and you know what adjustments to use when you're actually shooting live. So that's the ballistic system inside Virtual Shot. Have a go, play around with it, customize it to your ammunition, and make sure you have a go with those custom zero settings there, adjusting that the zero to what you shoot live for the best results when using the system.